Hi, my name is Glenn Story. I'm the founder and CEO of Patriot Mobile. I'd love for you to learn more about Patriot Mobile, www.patriotmobile.com/Gene V. More importantly, I'd like you to be a subscriber to his show. I mean, his Truthcast is amazing. And if you get to listen to some of them, you'll never go back. I really encourage you to come watch it.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Daybreak with Ed Tibbet and Michael Paul. If you'd like to call us, our new studio line is 268-1017. Our email is newstalk107.1@gmail.com.
That's some good music at 16 after 7 to take us into the highest rated program on this radio station Monday through Friday.
Yeah. Friday at 7:15, they've got their radios on and they are listening to Michael and our friend Gene Valentino. Very good morning to Gene and the studio audience. Look at them over there. They're going crazy. Very good morning to you, Gene.
To you too. I love it. Foggy as all get go out here. It's 59 degrees, but boy, the front is coming.
Yeah, it is going to be some weather coming in. Also, I wanted to point out that I have my Seattle Seahawks shirt on, my polo shirt, gray in color with the Seattle Seahawks logo on the left side over my heart. So I'm a big Seattle fan. I've been paying attention to Seattle for a long time. They've got a great team this year, and I suspect they're going to the Super Bowl. I suspect they're going to be in the Super Bowl this year, and it's possible that they could go all the way and win the Super Bowl, and I'm pulling for them.
Well, I think it's going to be, isn't it amazing how through the playoffs, Michael, there have been a lot of nip and tuck games, a lot of close calls, a lot of tight, rounds that were going on that really will surprise us. I think this is going to be a surprise right down to the bitter end.
I think you're exactly right, and we'll enjoy every minute of it because, well, I love that pro football, especially in the playoffs like this. It starts to get real interesting. So we'll be watching all those games. So good morning to you. You know, Gene, there's a lot going on in the world. Davos is happening, President Trump and Greenland. I mean, there's so many stories to talk about. One of the things I did want to bring up this morning, it's a big story this morning, because what happened is last year they notified, you have to do it a year in advance. Last year, when President Trump became president, they notified the WHO, not the group, the WHO. We're talking about the World Health Organization, that they were no longer going to be a part of their woke health measures, whatever that is, and they were getting out. And yesterday, they notified them that they are exiting the World Health Organization. This is a big story because the World Health Organization is nothing more than a bunch of globalists that are trying to control what happens in America. It's just one of those groups. It's another one of those groups that just wants to put their thumb on America and try to make it harder for us. What do you think about that?
Well, they're trying to hold to some standards that, frankly, the American standards are higher than theirs. We'll have lower early warning on global outbreaks. It could mean slower responses if another new virus emerges before it reaches our U.S. borders. We want to be aware of any outbreaks that are occurring anywhere in the world sooner, not later. The WHO in the past, especially during the Wuhan virus in China and other related COVID events, ended up being very, what's the word? They discounted the seriousness of a lot of it early on, which exacerbated part of our problem nationwide here in the States. I think we're over that. The silliness has fallen by the wayside, and our own Department of Health and Human Services, under the leadership of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., is being proactive with new standards, new processes in place. And I'm involved in a few companies that I've invested in that are enjoying the benefit of Robert F. Kennedy's new procedures over at the Department of Health, where the clinical trials procedures in bringing products to market won't be politically based. It'll be efficacy based, meaning the merits of the product getting to market are going to be more important than the politics of who's bringing it forward. They're getting away from this "what's in it for me" shtick that we've experienced for so long under the Biden administration. And I think a lot of optimism is at foot. It's part of a grander optimism that I have that's perceived nationwide. Elon Musk, you mentioned Davos. Elon Musk leaving Davos, showing up at Davos, expressing such a sense of optimism and comfort over the future of the world, not just the United States, that it was infectious. If I can use the pun, it was infectious because the other nations of the world are feeling it, and they're kind of grabbing on to the American spirit, which is so reassuring on so many levels. And you can see now why it had disappeared. It's all about leadership, man. We had a guy in the presidency that embarrassed us in the world scene. You think I'm talking Biden? I'm talking Obama too. They embarrassed us in the world scene. And we've got a situation now where people are coming back saying, holy schmoly, lead follower, get the hell out of the way. Trump's on a roll. Let's get on his train.
You know, we're talking about crime stats. One of the things that I wanted to point out is something that the administration has been touting over the last week or so, is that the crime rate, the murder rate in particular, in the United States of America is the lowest that it has been since the early 1900s, maybe around 1900. And what does that say? Well, you remember during COVID, all the folks that were, just going crazy. They had the mask on. They were putting everybody at home. The crime rate did go down a little bit during COVID because a lot of people weren't out doing their thing. But we learned last year that there's about 20%, maybe 25% of the population that are doing about 95% of the crimes. And so we learned that if you lock those people up, guess what happens? You have less crime. And so
apply.
Yeah.
And
So
apply
when you
those
talk
same
about-
percentages to our U.S. Congress.
Yeah, you could. But the whole point is that all this defund police, this cashless bail, all that stuff did nothing but just increase the murder rate. You've got murderers out here that were let out of jail for maybe not murder, but some other crimes, some serious crimes, that they did not keep them in jail. And therefore, they go out and they do the next level of crimes, which is how it works, right? You start out petty theft, you go into grand theft, and then you start killing people. That's how it works.
Your law enforcement background bespeaks itself. You are absolutely correct, and the numbers coming out show what you're saying is true. Homicides down 21% in 2025. Carjackings down 43% in 2025. And the deadly overdoses, mostly from fentanyl, down 20% in 2025. We see a major shift or a pivot in this criminal statistics throughout the nation. Where we don't see it being as successful is in blue sanctuary cities that have refused to let the federal government come in and assist in alleviating the crime at the local level, which starts with getting the illegal immigrants out that are hiding in your neighbor's house and mine, that deserve to be exported back to their homeland or seriously punished. It's not going to last long because we're getting through a lot of them. And God willing, the good immigrants, illegal immigrants that are truly just passionately desiring to be U.S. citizens, call a local law enforcement, call the local congressman. I won't say your congressman because you're not a citizen yet, but call the congressman locally and see what good path you can take to get to stay where you are and become a citizen. Absent any clear direction, you gotta go. Get back to your homeland and come back in legally through the immigration process.
You know, there is a class of criminal immigrants that came to this country. You remember the big deal about Trinidad, however you say that. That was people who were in prison in Venezuela, and the president of Venezuela, who is now, by the way, in prison himself in New York City, was sending the criminals here to create havoc and chaos in America. Those people are being arrested at a record rate. They are putting these people on a plane and sending them home now. And of course, now that we have a president of Venezuela that is cooperative with the United States, because why? They don't want to end up on that plane to New York, because that's what's going to happen if they don't agree or be agreeable to the United States. And that's the difference in Biden and Trump.
That is the difference between Biden and Trump. And what's happening here is that America's a little numb right now. I mean, it's like drinking water out of a fire hose. We're watching successes in Greenland. We're watching what's going on over in Davos. We're watching today a historic meeting since 2022 where Russia and Ukraine are finally going to meet face to face again. The last issue remaining is the Donbass region. Russia and Putin are really uptight about the territory issue. Putin wants land. He's really hung up on that. So the Donbass region is hot to him. He already got Crimea and some of the port areas, but the greedy son of a gun wants even more. If the Donbass region is negotiated, you probably have a peace settlement for the first time, longer than expected, but likely to come about. We have TikTok that's just engaged in an agreement literally in the last 72 hours with the United States, allowing the United States to control the data. One of the biggest concerns for moms and dads and families and all of us getting on TikTok is what? It's using our data for foreign illegitimate purposes. And that cannot be. Locally, we see the perpetrator of one of the biggest frauds against in politics against the Trump administration. Attorney General, prosecutor, I should say, Jack Smith, now being called in by the House Oversight Committee under James Comer and James Gordon, excuse me. They're going in and they're really grilling the guy, and it shows now more than ever that Smith has has no proof beyond a reasonable doubt that Trump did something wrong on January 6th. The proof beyond a reasonable doubt that's surfacing, Michael, is is what they have done to single out Donald Trump. Now, I don't care whether you like Donald Trump or not. The man was unjustly treated. His family was unjustly treated. We overlook the raid on Mar-a-Lago, his home, going into closets and underwear drawers and everything else of Melania and the kids. That's it, Michael. They've gone too far. A correction is at hand.
And we are correcting as we speak. And I'm loving every minute of it. Gene, we're out of time. We appreciate
No
you
way.
On Friday, we have Gene at 7:15, the most highly rated part of our show during the week. Thank you so much for making this a better place.
Oh, glad to be with the family at WMXI. www.genevalentino.com. Please subscribe. You'll see all the WMXI episodes there.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever.
For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great.
With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.